This is the Throttle Out Show, presented by Vixen Industries, the only show where monster truck drivers and mechanics come together to present what's happening in the monster truck community. It's the ultimate combination of torque, horsepower, and trash talk. And now for your hosts. First, straight out of the heart of Detroit Rock City, it's Kid Rock's neighbor and former driver of the BKT ride truck. It's Austin Spence. And the duo deep in the heart of Texas, it's the show owner and daughter of a man who conquered the industry for over 20 years. It's Harley Johnson, along with everyone's favorite Bryce Kenny lookalike, Austin Tweedy. So go ahead, fuel up, strap in, and remember, when in doubt, throttle out.
Hello, welcome. This is a show where we talk about monster trucks, other vehicles, and fun stuff, and where the comments like to talk shit against me. So, without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and bring in Spence. Spence, how you doing?
I think we went complete opposite with our get-ups tonight, Coop. I don't understand why you look like, Pepto-Bismol's mascot. Or
listen, this right here is Blake Shipment's merchandise.
Oh,
B Shipment Films. All right, the greatest filmer that Monster Jam ever had. So yeah, I'm supporting him
again.
today.
Great people walked right out the door. So I guess it's just you and me tonight, Coop. We're the ones that's running this bitch. It's just going to be us taking the controls tonight.
This is true.
Yeah, I don't
so.
think.
How was your weekend?
I don't think. I mean, it was pretty good. It wasn't a weekend. It was the work week. I've been going 14 days straight now, working at the shop, getting everything ready.
I've been on snow day number 2 right now. It's
oh, dude, I've been
nice. My last day of work was today.
We've just been. Really? How was it?
I got snowed out. It's been full of video games and just chilling. I guess we have 2 more people.
That sounds great. I guess. Should we bring them on? That usually they don't really, from what I heard, they don't really contribute that much to the show, like you, Coop. It's just me. I'm the one that runs this whole operation, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm just the one who takes all the insults. They just target me. I'm the big old sponge. No, I am your punching bag.
But that's why we love you. Anyway, yeah, bring the Tweeties on. Enough's enough.
The Tweeties. Get in here, you guys.
Wow, thanks for the intro, guys.
Thanks for that.
Thanks. We're just the Tweeties over here. We add nothing to the show.
No.
Nothing.
We're just here.
Exactly.
We just work here.
What's
up, everybody?
Honestly, I'm just here. It's cold. It's freezing cold. I can't imagine you wearing a sweatshirt and a beanie. It's cold down there in Texas, Tweety. It better be like -5.
Well, believe it or not.
Well, it's a good 25.
Believe it or not, it was cold here today with a little bit of ice on the ground. Couldn't go to work.
Nope.
So, yes, Mike Rowley, it was cold in Dallas, Texas today, believe it or not.
I don't know if he's watching tonight. He might be busy cleaning off all those brand new trucks up there in Minnesota.
Mikey!
I think he's moving in up there is what he's actually doing. Rumor has it he's like
so
the house or moving into the house, Sean. But so, what do you want to talk about, Spence?
Well, it's Thursday. There's actually quite a bit we can talk about. There's stuff that we can talk about monster trucks, or I don't know if you know anything about motocross going in this weekend, or we can talk a little bit about drag racing. It's entirely up to you. So whichever direction you want to go with this shindig. We also have a guest waiting on us in the back, so we'll be sure to bring him on here relatively soon. But it's up to you. Where do you want to start?
I would like to start by I'm not continuing conversation from Monday's stream, okay?
But a little bit you are.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit I am. But a little bit
A
I
little
am.
bit,
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just say there's been a lot of chit-chat going on since then. Some good, some surprisingly negative. I was really kind of shocked to see some of the comments not necessarily on our page, but just around the league, I guess, of monster trucks. And then I was keeping up with some comments. It was on our last video. So there were some people going back and forth that were like straight up calling James Trantina a hypocrite. And this is what I want, like, if I can get anything across, okay, it's this right here. When you have something that is a competition, okay, in this case, you're talking about monster trucks, you are going to have good guys, you're going to have bad guys, you're going to side with one team or one individual versus the next, their competition, and that's okay. I think if we're being completely honest, something that Monster Jam has done since they've really taken over and become the NHRA of our sport is they've kind of like pushed the competition like to the side. It's more along the lines of Monster Jam, everybody wins. Everybody gets a participation trophy. You did good. We did good. We all did good. We all win. And they push that to the side. I think y'all be surprised to know that there are drivers out there, even within the league of Monster Jam, that don't care for each other, that really don't like each other. When they meet each other on the starting line, everybody in the back has got their eyes on this race in particular. And so kind of coming back to the competition or the conversation from this past Monday, I mean, you may like James Trantina after some of the things he said on Monday. You may not like some of the things he said this past Monday. But some things that I found that were interesting, Spence and Coop, was somebody made the comment of, this guy is such a hypocrite because he said that, the deal with Vern House and it being a text message deal isn't a real deal, but he ended up with a handshake agreement with Paul. And it's like, first of all, you must have not actually been listening to the conversation then. What I mean by that is, when he met Paul for the first time ever and they were talking about, changing hands with the business, there was a handshake agreement of, hey, I'm going to get a contract wrote up. We are going to exchange funds in the next couple of weeks. And then they did that. Don't know how that makes him a hypocrite, but whatever. But other than that,
Smart business decision.
But it's also okay to not like him. You can do that too. That's your opinion. You can do that. But I just thought it was pretty funny. There's people saying, James should run his business a little bit better and call him a hypocrite. I just thought it was funny. Go to the comments and read that if you want our last video.
To those people, I ask you, where's your monster truck?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Where's your monster truck?
Where's your fleet? Where's your fleet of monster trucks? I'll wait.
Not just that, but I mean, where's your business? Where's your experience in monster truck? I don't know. I just thought it was funny. But anyways, you're gonna have that though. I hope there are some rivalries that come to light, that come to the surface within Monster Jam, within the league of monster trucks. I think a lot has been put under wraps for far too long. You look at Supercross. You think those guys are out there kicking each other off bikes and just kind of taking it and being okay with that? Hell no. Those guys out there hate each other's guts. But, I mean, that's just Rubbin's racing. I hope we get to see more of that in monster trucks. So that was kind of my takeoff, get this conversation started. Coop, you got anything to add to that?
Bring them on. I'll fight them all.
1v1?
1v1 them all. One at a time, though. It can't be all against me. It's just got to be 1v1. Pants off boxing match.
No, but shirts can stay on?
Optional. Optional.
Shirts are optional. Pants got to come off. Okay.
Yep.
That's not the type of boxing match I thought of. But
well, I mean, you're in gloves. It's not like you can grab anything.
You can try. Don't they hug each other? Isn't that something they do?
No, that's
boxing?
only whenever you know you're about to get dropped. No, that's only if you're like, you're about to get dropped, so you hug onto them, so that way you can rest a little bit, or to wear them down, as in you just lean on them and put all your weight on them.
See, I feel like if I put all my weight on somebody, I'd probably kill them. But anyway.
Well, you'd be fighting somebody your same weight class. Anyway, back to monster.
Here's that.
I mean, I'll talk about.
Yeah, back to monster trucks. Anyway, yeah. Is there anything else you want to kind of add to that with Trantina there, Tweety? Because honestly, regardless of the hate and everybody kind of going back and forth, honestly, I know there's a couple super fans and people are going to probably hate me for saying this. There's definitely a few super fans out there that are sucking up to the wrong people.
You're gonna.
Hey,
I don't know what's happening. Something got
Label
stuck.
your soundboard, Coop. If you're gonna try
I
and be
hit
funny with your
something and it
soundboard,
got
freaking
stuck.
label it.
It got stuck. It started bouncing. It's crazy. I don't know what happened.
What were you saying?
Oh
What
my
were you
god.
saying?
What were you
Spence?
saying?
I was just saying there's just some super fans that are basically begging and siding with one driver that doesn't know all the details, and they're just going to do everything they can to defend said. It could be a super fan that's like, oh, I wiped down a truck, so I feel like I have every like fiber of my being. Like my opinion matters in all this, 100,000 whatever, however much money deal went on with monster trucks. Like my opinion is because I wiped down a truck. No, sit your ass down, grab some popcorn, and watch the big boys play. Your opinion does not matter. Anyway. Moving on.
And I will say this though, one of the biggest topics of conversation, regarding Monday's episode was James saying that he doesn't exactly know what he wants to do about the Carolina Crusher situation with Gary Porter. And even straight from James's mouth, like, I mean, how do you tell Gary Porter no? I think at the end of the day, it's not necessarily he's telling Gary Porter no.
No.
He's not telling him no. I mean, he is, but he's really telling Mike Harper no. Okay. I mean, as of right now. I mean, Coop, it would be no different than me being like, hey, Coop, next Thursday, I'm coming to your house, and I'm taking your car. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to go on a damn road trip. It's your car, but I'm taking it. And you're going to be like, no, it's my car. But I'm saying, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to take your car. Probably going to wash it. I'm probably going to take it through the mud afterwards and return it with low on fuel.
After the wash.
I mean, these are James's trucks, okay? They're his. At the end of the day, he can choose what he wants to do with it. And I agree. It would be really difficult to be like, no, Gary Porter can't run the name. But at the end of the day, it's his stuff. If he doesn't want to run, that's up to him.
What if in just like really small font he puts North Carolina Crusher or South Carolina Crusher? I mean, it's technically a Carolina Crusher. It's just north or south. But
Word.
I don't know. It's one of those deals where we'll see in time. I mean, someone will probably come forward and say, "Hey, it's happening," or "Hey, it's not happening." We'll see.
We'll see. Only time will tell, right? We don't know.
Yeah.
But Spence, we got a guest on with us tonight. I know you are a huge fan of this individual show. We can bring him on tonight, talk about what he's got going on. But I'll go ahead and toss it over to you now, my friend.
So talking about Trantina and his fleet of trucks, this individual alone is the only person I can personally think of that has a much bigger fleet of trucks than Mr. James Trantina, and also is the host and creator of probably one of the biggest diecast monster truck YouTube channels, is Steve Jones from Monser Truck Attitude. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, dude, just trying to stay warm, to be completely honest with you. I got my space heater on my desk, and I'm just doing whatever I can to keep the blood flowing. I can't feel my toes, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's definitely cold here in the Virginia region as well. It's been in the lower teens as of late, so it's been rather chilly outside.
Now, Spence, we won't throw any spoilers out there because the latest episode of Monster Truck Attitude came out tonight featuring you behind the wheel of Monster Patrol. We won't give any spoilers, but I'll just go ahead and tell everybody who's watching tonight, maybe Spence should just stick to talking about monster trucks and less racing the diecast. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Listen, so I made my official debut in Monster Truck Attitude in a Gravedigger, and I'll be honest, I sucked. So I'm hoping with the wing and a front engine truck, I may have a little bit of an edge. I might actually have a chance in the February season. Fingers crossed.
Front engine.
Hey, there you go. Anything's better than that old raggedy panel van from North Carolina, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now, Steve,
There
I
you go.
asked you this before the show, and I'd like for you to kind of answer this question for everybody watching. But listening to you, the way that you handle your show, the cadence of your conversation with the audience as you're talking, man, you just got it. You were just on a row, firing on all cylinders. Have you actually ever thought about announcing a monster truck show? Has that been a thought on your mind or ever been presented to you? Because, dude, you sound really good.
I appreciate that very much. And No, it's never been brought to me to try and do a show. Would I love to do a show? Of course, I'd love to do a show, but as far as trying to get out there and do one, I haven't been presented that offer yet. Of course, we're all coming off of the pandemic thing, so things might change. That'd be really cool to get out there and call some of the action, just like the old days. Like Army Armstrong would, or Gary Lee, Scott Douglas, all the greats that we all grew up watching. But it would be really cool to commentate a real show versus a diecast show one day.
Well, that's the vibes I get when I'm listening to you talk out there. I feel like I'm listening to Monster Trucks, back in the '90s, and I mean the quality of the audio is obviously much better and all that, but you got it though. I mean, just listening to you talk about the diecast, and so I think you make a good fit for being an announcer for Monster Trucks. And then, how did all this come to be? Did you start doing the Monster Truck Attitude during the pandemic, or did you start a little bit before?
So I created Monster Truck Attitude in March of 2017, and it started out as a buy-sell trade group on Facebook. And, just a few years of spinning my wheels, I wanted to get into something a little different. In early 2020, we all know it happened. The pandemic came around. They started canceling all the shows, and I was like, man, these guys need something to watch. And I started getting the idea going, and everybody knows about downhill racing and diecast, and I just started putting the two together, and I was like, I wonder if there's a way I could possibly make this work. So at first I built me a little sandbox with a ramp and, went to town. Sounded horrible. The truck, weren't so, and the track looked kind of bad. And it just grew from there, really. And I just kept making it better and better as the weeks progressed, and started to gain a really strong following of people. And now there's people that like, man, I didn't get in this month. This is crap. I'm like, hey, there's always next time. And calm down. And it's grown to such a huge thing. I've had real drivers get in on the action, which has been totally cool with me. And I try to get them in there like they're real trucks sometimes. And a lot of the big part of it is people want to pick and choose their truck. And I nipped that in the butt as soon as the shows even started. I said, because I knew everybody was going to try to get into a Gravedigger or a Max D. And I was like, I'm not even going to have this argument with you guys. We're going to assign trucks, and we're going to rock and roll from there. So the pandemic really kicked it off for me, and I just started getting harder and harder into it, and I stuck with it. We just did episode 87 of Thunder. It's been on every week for 87 weeks, and I'm not stopping yet by a long shot.
Well, it's been entertaining as hell to watch, man. I know Spence has been a huge fan, and we have too. I've never been able to get the timing right to get in and get myself on the list. You may post like, hey, sign up for Monster Truck Attitude at 7:00 on Facebook. I'll be there at 7:02, and every single slot will be taken up by then. So, I mean, hats off to you, man. You got a good thing going. You're getting people involved. You're getting the Monster Truck community watching and keeping us entertained. I think you'd be surprised. You probably have a lot more Monster Truck drivers keeping up with you than you imagine, man. You got it going on.
I appreciate that, man, a lot. And I try to make it as educational as possible, too. Not just, much like today's shows kids watch. It's like go out there, they tear it up, and ooh-rah, they go home happy. And I try to make it, educational, where I'm explaining the breakage of 4-link bars and sway bar links, rear tie rod ends, third members, diff covers, all the stuff you can think of. Kingpins, I try to throw it all in there during the show and make a diecast look like an actual truck is broken. But, it's trying to be educational but entertaining at the same time. You know what I mean?
So I got to say, one of my favorite parts, and like it's just that level of detail that you put into Monster Truck Attitude is what makes it so unique. Because you were talking a little bit briefly about carpet racers, like it's just kids or people that are just, they don't put the level of detail that you do in your stadiums. The fact that you have like a back lot with all the haulers, the little crew guys get me all the time because they're not exactly right proportionally, but seeing these little crew guys as if they're working on the trucks, it's just like, I remember being in that situation, but it's just a little toy truck. I freaking love it.
Yeah. I try to incorporate all the details you would see at a real show, and let the fans know that watch, as many people that may watch the show, that the trucks come in on little trailing tires. You tire them up, make sure they're at 100%, dial them in, and when the show's over, we're either loading them up wrecked or we're loading them up all together. And I try to incorporate all the details of a show, every chance that I can. Sometimes the show, the timing doesn't allow for it, or I'm working on something else, and I just tried to be so much more different than everything else you would see on YouTube when everybody else is doing it. And I wanted to try to intricate the dirt, of course, which is kinetic sand. I get asked that all the time. It's just that fake dirt that you get at Walmart, Target, and you just got to roll it out on the track. And I build all the jumps out of it and try to make the best of what we got and, you know, really incorporate the realism to a toy, basically.
I love it, man. And before we get any further, make sure y'all like this video as we're just getting in the beginning stages. Make sure you share it. And I want to give a couple shout outs first to Jeremy Parsons, Joseph Rodriguez, Paige Johnson, Levi Scones. What's up with y'all watching tonight? Also, huge shout out to Freddie Hill, who went to our website at thethrottleoutshow.com, got him a motor tee. Thank you so much. And y'all can head over there, grab you a motor tee, get this mug as well. Y'all stay warm this winter. We got some new beanies coming soon, some beanies and some new hats coming y'all's way very soon. We'll be making those, start producing them in-house. Pretty pumped about that. Now, y'all, let's start talking about what's going on with the season. And Steve, you can jump in on this conversation whenever you feel like. If you got something to say, don't be afraid to just cut us off. Hey, I got something to say. I figure since we're kind of nearing what is essentially going to be the halfway point for for first quarter, anyways, all of first quarter, not just Monster Jam. Kind of getting to the halfway point, we kind of start giving grades to everybody. Start talking about drivers' performances. I know there may be some positives, there may be some negatives, but believe it or not, we could say positive stuff about people. It's not all negative all the time. I didn't know, maybe kind of spin scoop. Y'all want to go with a certain direction, a certain tour, where we want to start this discussion, but let's start grading some people.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I'm about ready to start trading people off of Team PP. I need to start pulling that weight.
Oh, really?
What? Already?
I'm not joking.
Why?
We're almost at the halfway season. I'm in third, Coop. I've been in third this whole time. What do you mean, why?
Listen, I've been bouncing back from last to second, back to last. And it's only a matter of time before I take the number one spot, so I don't feel like I'm going to trade anybody.
Dude, what do you mean? Like, the person that's in second place has got, like...
There's still the rest of the season.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of disappointed in Jim Kohler. Not even going to lie. Adam Anderson's good when he's actually out in stadiums. My independent in stadiums, I completely forgot. Or no, not my independent, my wild card. Who is my wild card in stadiums? Oh, crap.
It's Nick. Nick Pag.
Nick Pags, yeah, the Pags haven't done anything.
Well,
you say that.
Nick's
I'm
doing
sorry.
pretty good compared to his last stadium
Nick's
tour.
in like fifth place or something like that on a stadium tour, so I wouldn't dog on Nick.
No.
Nick's that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was Nick. I mean, I've been saying it the last couple of years. Each year, Nick Pag gets better and better. This year, he's really started off strong. I want to see him finish strong. I want to see him carry this momentum into the rest of this year and at least finish where he's at right now. And I think he definitely has the equipment to make it happen. I think he's got the skill to make it happen. Sometimes those spins, Coop, y'all know this, you get a run of bad luck. Sometimes you get out there, the trucker starts goofing up, or the driver gets off on a weird tangent, thinking maybe he's got the track figured out, and on the way the dirt's going to hook up with the truck, and then he gets into the next stadium, and the dirt's completely different, rolls over first round. I mean, that happens to everybody. So I want to see Nick just stay as consistent as he is right now through the rest of the season. It would be a huge victory for him to finish just being in the top 5 on that tour. I think he's got what it takes, Harley. I think you believe in him as well. He can do that. Another driver I want to talk about that is on Team PP, which is Adam Anderson, driver of the Gravedigger. I think he's been doing a great job this season. I know he's wanting to represent the 40th anniversary of Gravedigger pretty well. I know he's been catching a lot of heat from fans who's not been that pumped about the overall paint scheme of the truck, which I know is going to wear on him a lot. Just kind of hearing that negative energy being tossed around, but he's been driving the truck exceptionally well. I think Jeff Sin is pumped that he's got a driver such as Adam Anderson. You know, he's gone from Cody Associated, Todd the Duke, now to driving with,
Isn't Adam like the points leader on his tour?
He might be.
So Spence, why would you want to trade Adam?
Why would you want to trade your points?
Because I haven't said I was going to trade Adam. It's just the simple fact that it's like, okay, cool, these guys are doing well, but also my stadium tour hasn't been in stadiums. They've been doing two arena events lately. So it's like, how are we supposed to be racking up points? Tom Mintz was in another arena show, Coop. So it's like, how are we supposed to rack up any points?
Was
when
Adam a wild
all of Tweety's
card or
picks
no?
are in stadiums. Who?
Was Adam?
Nick?
Was he a wild
Nick was
card
my
or
wild.
was he?
No, no. Adam, my main company pick.
Oh, okay. Adam was the main guy. Okay.
Adam Anderson was a main. Yeah. Nick Pagliarulo was my wild card, and Jim Kohler was my independent for stadiums.
I'll ask Steve since he's watching with us this night. Steve, is there a driver you've been keeping up with this season? Somebody you got your eye on that's been performing exceptionally well or not very good?
You know, man, Ryan Anderson never ceases to amaze me with what he does. Adam's doing great as well. You know, Jim Kohler, an Avenger, he's been doing a top-notch job with his 25th anniversary going on this year. A lot of people don't know that. I don't really have my eye set on a certain truck or driver right now. It's still kind of early. There's only been a few shows this year. But, I mean, all in all, it's looking to be a good season for just about everybody as far as getting time behind the truck and, you know, making sure that they can go out there and perform well. I know the tracks, man, are getting crazy this year going on.
Harley, I know you got to be impressed, just kind of going off what Steve said about the progress that Ryan's made this first quarter.
Well, yeah, Ryan's on. That's the reason why I chose Ryan, because I knew that he would win almost every overall other than Tyler.
Ryan's been doing really well. I think right behind him on his tour is Tyler.
Yeah.
And then I think it goes Camden Murphy, which is my wild card pick. I know a lot of y'all are surprised to hear me pick Camden.
Camden
but
is actually doing really well with the points.
Camden's doing well this year. Absolutely.
Yeah, when we went and we watched him in Arlington, Harley, I think the weekend before he won racing both nights in a row, goes into racing that first night in Arlington, I think won maybe the first round, if not the second round, I can't remember now, and then lost in the next round, but that was only because we had learned that he actually was not feeling very good, was actually ill, and, you know, so
even
that took
driving
him out.
ill, he still drove like
Even
really
driving
well.
ill. I know, yeah. I mean, if you
You couldn't tell he was sick.
I mean, run like the fastest times of the night, and the dude was sick to his stomach. So, I mean, Camden Murphy driving exceptionally well. Somebody I want to talk about for a little bit because, y'all, when we talk about this driver, it kind of comes across as we are just kind of ragging on this driver, not saying some positive things about this driver, and that would be Cynthia Gauthier. The reason I want to talk about her a little bit.
What are you talking about? We're always nice
I'm kidding.
to
I
Cynthia.
said I was kidding.
We're always
like
nice
it.
to Cynthia, don't you know? Like,
Okay, what were you going to
I
say?
am-
What I was going to say
Besides
was,
from those other two.
if you keep up with the career of Cynthia Gauthier since 2020, kind of just keep, you know, picking it up. It was either, I can't remember now, 19 or 20 was her first stadium tour. Okay, then obviously the way 2020 finished up with the tour getting cut, you know, not necessarily in half, but you know, the tour gets
Cut
chopped
short.
off. Coming back, they put her in Monster Mud Dalmatian Galaxy, new truck. Kind of finishes out just swinging with the big dogs for the rest of the year, which is going to be a lot of pressure. We saw Lindsey Reed getting thrown into that mix, and a couple other independents just out there, and Kristen obviously as well, just out there with the best of the best. And then coming into this year, now she's got a brand new ride. I mean, she got a huge promotion this year driving the Lucas Stabilizer semi monster truck. Just kind of still getting her feet wet behind the wheel of that truck, trying to learn all the blind spots in the truck. She's got a long way to go. But what a promotion for her. I hope she can take this truck, get it back in the winner's circle. Like I said, I know she's still getting it figured out, still getting the mechanics of the truck figured out. We kind of heard through the grapevine that I was thinking of Grapevine, Texas as soon as I said that. That the truck is actually a digger chassis, and which I think is very interesting considering it's obviously not painted the Gravedigger color, but that's essentially what it is. You can kind of tell by looking at it. So she's got, and it's a brand new truck, obviously, so she's got a lot to work out on the truck. I kind of expect her to pick it up a little bit, and I think she'll get there. Y'all got any thoughts on that?
I think she'll do pretty good, honestly. All it takes is one show, and then it'll start the momentum.
One show
And
changes
I
everything.
think, yeah, exactly. And I think that's coming up pretty soon. Not gonna lie.
Now I'm gonna quiz you.
all right, I got a
Wait.
question.
Go
No,
ahead.
I got a question real quick. I got a question. Raise your hand if you pick Cynthia on your team.
I don't have a team.
That's what I thought.
Good answer.
I mean, I have an excuse for that. I got an excuse.
What's your excuse?
Oh, what's your
Because I
excuse?
know it's a brand new body, and they probably keep telling her every week to not go that hard on it. So
That is
I'm going to
also
choose a
true.
driver that's going to go extra hard than somebody who keeps
Did you
getting
not
told
see
by
her
the
in
higher
Vegas a
ups.
couple of years ago?
No, that's
Good
different.
God.
That's not new body. This year.
Understandable.
So I'm going to choose
It is a
someone
pretty
who's
body. It's a pretty truck, pretty body.
Yeah,
No.
I'm just going to choose somebody this year that's not being told every week to go easy.
True. And I thought, Harley, you said you were
True.
actually going to pick Cynthia. Were you not? I could have swore you said you were.
I was going to pick her.
Yeah.
But then I picked somebody else. Well, I
Now-
thought
The,
about
the
it. Like,
better
okay, she's
driver,
getting-
Kayla Blood.
She's getting a new ride, so
Yes.
she might go a little bit easier on it. So
Now, I'm going to
Yeah.
fire a question out to the one and only Poncho Man, Cooper Knuckles, and I think this will lead into some interesting discussion. But, Coop, just a few years ago, you and I were under the impression that Tom Mintz only had like 3 years left and that he was going to be done. And I feel like maybe the pandemic kind of shook all that up. Now everybody at Feld, the powers that be, are trying to keep all the drivers that they have for as long as they can. Do you think Tom is still he's got, precious time left in the seat? Or you think he'll still be around for a little while?
I think he'll be fine, honestly. I mean, he's having fun, so I don't feel like until he's not having fun, I feel like he'll leave. But I mean, honestly, I have no idea. I think Steve's holding her down pretty good, making it more confident. So I think as long as he's having fun, that's all I know, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like he has a few more years in it. His back will hold up. Maybe.
Spence, you got any thoughts on that?
I think he's already got a room waiting for him in the Monster Jam retirement home. I think he's about ready to hang it up. I mean, just saying. Tom's a good driver and all, but Monster Jam being Monster Jam, they want young, beautiful athletes representing their trucks, selling their toys, and Tom looks like he's about ready to be in a little rascal for the remaining years of his life. So, love Tom to death. Great drivers, good run, bud, but time to hang it up.
I mean, I'm basically kind of like right where you're at, Spence. I don't want to see the guy get hurt, and he may be driving good still. I think a lot of people have noticed, though, however, that his at least when it comes to racing, either the competition has stepped up greatly, which is true, but also that maybe he's kind of slowed down in racing as well. And somebody had told me here, I think in 2020, he was just kind of second guessed himself, maybe the way his truck's set up, wanted to change some things up, and that wasn't necessarily the case. But I think Monster Jam will keep him around as long as they can now, seeing how limited they are on drivers
I think
and crew
Tom
guys.
is gonna keep driving until his body literally says,
Yeah.
like, I'm done. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone
Yeah.
telling him that he's done. He's not actually gonna be done.
Nah, he'll make that decision.
Steve, what do
on
you
his
think,
own.
man?
Tom, man, he's been in the sport for quite some time. I hope to see him go maybe another year or two strong. But like you guys say, the competition's getting more and more fierce out there. These young bloods are coming up, and it's going to be a matter of time before they start really passing him. And Tom will have to hang it up one of these days, and it's going to come up sooner than later, unfortunately.
Now, the best part about him sticking around is how his truck outperforms everybody, and they can't keep up with the
Oh,
ZF
God.
chassis.
You remove him. If he says, I remove him. Done.
What? It's true.
Just bye. Bye.
It's true, my guy.
You know what? But before we go into talking about him, let's talk about great guy. Yeah, he'd be doing better if he didn't screw over a Ninja Swap. Cool, got that out of the way. Moving on.
Listen,
Bam.
I'm not gonna say it unless somebody brings it up for me to say it.
But hey,
Yeah.
we're already talking about that tour. So Adam Anderson obviously being first, Tom Mintz in second, and close behind in second, and not far behind him is Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I thought with him having the major name change, going from Monster Energy to Blue Thunder, which has just been hiding in the shadows, sitting back in the shop with the rest of what's quote unquote Paul Schaefer's monster trucks, just in the shadows, collected dust and Blue Thunder. Figure maybe that was going to hurt his way with the fans, just as far as the points go, but he's still doing really well. Maybe even driving a little bit harder in freestyle. Right after him is Cole Renard, which is no surprise. That guy steps it up each and every year, and I know he's been wanting to take a series championship for many years now. So definitely proud of that guy. And I will talk about the person who's currently in fifth place, who I believe is totally thrown the monkey wrench in the competition this year, is Mark Liss and El Toro Loco. I say that because I did, like, coming out of the gate. First of all, I didn't see Mark Liss even being in fifth place. I did, just for sitting out for basically a year and a half. Now getting back into driving and on stadium tours, I didn't think he'd be in fifth place. However, seeing that he is capable of running the truck hard, he will definitely be the guy that throws the monkey wrench in, goes out and wins freestyle and overalls, and obviously won racing this year. And it's definitely going to hurt those guys that are sitting at the top of the point standings. What are y'all's thoughts on Mark Liss this season, Spence?
Honestly, you hit it right, the nail right on the head. Is just he completely him and Meninga both took us completely by surprise, being arena drivers. Mainly Mark Liss completely surprised me, being an arena driver out of the seat for a year and a half and coming in and showing that he deserves to be there. And you would think coming in as a brand new stadium driver that they would be they'd be watching him like you can't do this, you gotta go easy on the truck, put on a good show, but don't tear it up too bad. I don't think there's really been a show where Mark Liss has had every single body panel remaining on the truck.
No,
like he is driving like he should be driving a digger. It's that good.
Now, right after Mark Liss, we got, as we were talking about, Nick Pagliarulo in the Kraken Monster Truck with 71 points. He's actually tied with Bryce Kinney in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior truck for 71 points. I think Cooper
I forgot about Bryce.
said that Bryce was going to pick it up a little bit this year.
I think Bryce is having a tough season.
But
so
that's what it
far.
sounds like,
Bro.
Yeah.
When I was at when I seen the highlights from every show so far, it looks like he has the same luck as he's had every first quarter, to where the truck will either bounce a certain way or it just won't work out the way he was trying to do it.
Or,
It's
like
awful.
Spence has pointed out in one show where he goes up to do a stoppie and the front end just gives out on the truck. It's just like, nope.
Yeah. His luck. His luck is just, yeah.
10 points behind Bryce Kinney is Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer. So, like I said, it may come down to judgeszone.com and the fans voting, just obviously because the truck looks so good that she's in 8th place. Or actually tied with her is John Gordon, Bad Company, which to me, I figure maybe
Best
he might
looking
be
truck.
a spot or two up higher, but John is just looking so good in racing this year. Looking fast on the track. I know his team is pulling for him. They're wrenched on that truck. He's got a great piece of equipment, good people supporting him. Right after him, Jamie Garner overboard, driving the truck really well. Ryan Disharoon, though, guys having just some weird bugs going on with his piece. I don't know for sure if he's driving a new piece, if that's a new chassis, but he and Paul Jensen kind of seem to be sharing the same luck
From
there.
what he posts on
this year.
social media, he fixes something with the truck every weekend
Every
to see if
weekend,
it'll
man.
help or change. And I don't know what's going on with that truck.
But Coop, that kind of goes hand in hand with being a fabricator, though. I mean, you're going to be trying out new things. Some stuff's going to work well, and then the only way to know if something's going to work, obviously, is keep running it. Maybe tweaking it a little bit along the way. You may think you're on the recipe for greatness when actually it's the road to disaster, but you're not going to know until you try it, till you throw the truck out there. It's not like Coop or Spence. Like, y'all can go and test and tune your rides and all that. We don't really get that with monster trucks, though, right? You just get your trucks, and then you get thrown out there to the wolves, basically.
For sure.
The thing is, though, even
I
though
figured someone was going to take it away.
what I was gonna say, like that's just kind of part of it. And honestly, regardless of the point standings, I still admire Disharoon and Gordon because they're adapting. They're trying new things out to better the truck. And it really does kind of stink seeing that Saigon Shaker is having so many issues this season. But honestly, I think those guys in the metal shop crew, they're just seen as more like, okay, maybe we need to tweak this, maybe we need to change this, go back to the drawing board and make a couple tweaks here and there. I wouldn't be surprised if, come later in the season, they come out and they're just dominating, and it's all because they made a couple of those changes, but they're listening and acknowledging their trucks. Difference of being an actual driver and being someone paid to come in, destroy a truck, and leave every weekend, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And then to kind of go after what I think was it Mike Hedman put in the comments down there,
I
Harley,
can bring it up.
was just talking about, hypothetically speaking here. And I like your shirt, by the way, Mike Hedman, in your picture. That's awesome.
And he's got a sticker in the background too.
And talking about how, if Tom Ince, leaves Monster Jam, maybe James Trentina gets a hold of him and he goes and drives Monster Patrol. That was actually
that
something
would be
that
awesome.
that actually my dad and I talked about for a while. That maybe that'd be something that gets worked out. This is before James even bought Schaefer Motorsports, but that might be a possibility.
You talk about coming full circle. That would be awesome.
Wouldn't it, though?
That would be awesome. Mince back in Monster Patrol. The nostalgia behind that is ridiculous.
Maybe Mince takes Monster Patrol and goes right back to Monster Jam as well as an independent.
Could you imagine?
Oh,
I wish.
Man.
He's still losing to the fan judges, though. Who's Monster Patrol?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Never heard of it.
Now, talking about Stadium Series Yellow, obviously, and Steve, you already hit the nail right on the head earlier. Ryan Anderson, how do you bet against this guy? Guy is on rails. He's not slowing down, just making everybody work for it each and every weekend. I don't know if there's really anything more or anything else to be said about Ryan Anderson. Spence, you had said that Tyler Meninga is kind of taking us by surprise, coming straight from arenas, going into stadiums, kicking ass and taking names. Tyler Meninga on rails this year.
Absolutely. And honestly, I think he's just going to get better and better. Wayne, I see comments. What's going on, man? I think, I hate to say this because I didn't choose him. I think Tyler Meninga may have the potential to become a World Finals champion this year. Like, he is laying it down. I honestly think this might be the year that Tyler Meninga, a non-Anderson Gravedigger driver, will win the Monster Jam World Finals. I don't know if it'll be in racing, I don't know if it'll be in freestyle, but I feel that Tyler Meninga has what it takes to be crowned a champion in 2022.
Well, Steve, just on the outside looking in, you would think a guy like Tyler Meninga, who had made 2 straight World Finals racing appearances in the finals, and that was when he was in arenas. You would think, Steve, him going into stadiums now would give him that much more of an edge going into the competition at World Finals. And he's going to get invited to the World Finals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt. Meninga is just on another level. He came out of arenas fairly quickly, and he proved that he could hang with the big dogs, especially going into Vegas a couple of years ago. The dude, like Spence just said, but without being an Anderson, he has got the Gravedigger style, and he has got that truck down to a science. And it could be his year to take home a World Finals championship, no doubt.
Like Coop had something to say about that.
I don't think this will be the year, to be honest.
No?
Nah. I don't see a Gravedigger winning.
You can't sit here and say that Tom's going to win either, dude. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Tom's done. He does not have another championship in him. He may be in the points lead, but he's not going to be a World Finals champion. There's no way.
Listen, we got to get up to number 14 this year after how last year went whenever everything was shut down so fast and he had no chance. This is the year he needs it. So I think he's coming in with a way bigger game plan. He's going to air it all out.
But what happens,
way bigger than he did before.
If third place on this tour, Camden Murphy, comes up and takes everybody by surprise, though, I think he might stay third place for the rest of the season. I don't know how you beat. I mean, both your digger trucks are sitting, first place and second place on this tour. Don't know how you beat those guys. Sorry. I mean, it comes down to fan judging, but both fan judging and drivers.
I mean, Corey, or you said you're talking about Camden, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Camden. Yeah, talking about Camden. I don't know how you beat
anything
those guys.
could happen in a weekend, so all the Gravediggers or the diggers have to do is break one weekend, and then Camden just comes up and steals
Camden
it.
is not far behind either.
That's true.
Camden's driving really well this year. But who's just 2 points behind Camden, though? Bari Musauer, Zombie, who did not have a great 2020 first quarter. I feel like he had the leash, a very short leash on him, though. And then this year, they let that baby go. They cut that puppy off, and he's just been running ragged, driving the Zombie truck hard out there, putting the truck in the winner's circle. But Spence, would we have predicted, though, that coming in, was it 5th place on this tour as of right now anyways, would be Charlie Pauken in Monster Mutt?
You know what? Let's have Steve talk a little bit about Chucky, because I know you're an old school fan, just like some of us here, Steve. So, what do you think about Chucky Pawkin doing well on Monster Mutt?
You know, he came out there and what can I say? He hung right there with the young guys and out there, put it on two wheels, rode it out like it was nothing but a thing. And you know, Chucky, he's been around for quite some time. He just came out there proving that, hey, you guys might be younger, but this old boy still got it. And no doubt Chucky's a man to deal with out there on the track, especially back in Monster Mutt. It's an identity he's had for on and off throughout the years. And just Chucky knows how to get it done, man. And seeing him out there mixing up with the new talent and seeing what they can do out there on the track with the new technology, Chucky's just, he adapts so well and so smoothly just to everything. And I feel like Chucky's going to be a force out there this season.
Now, have we seen the Chucky dance yet? I haven't seen any videos of.
I feel like he only breaks it out when he wins now.
But he's won elements already this
that's
season,
true.
and he hasn't
Has he?
did the dance. Yeah,
Yeah, he won racing 2 weekends in a row, I thought. Did he not?
he's won racing. I think he.
I haven't seen him with the hair yet do the Chucky dance. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
He
this
looks like
year yet.
Machete.
In a world
If you
full,
really look at him.
in a cancel culture, I swear to God, if Monster Jam cancels the Chucky dance, we riot. Okay, I don't care. We'll all go. You don't get rid of the damn Chucky dance.
Chucky's having a great season. Now, somebody
that.
who always finishes top independent on their tour is Corey Rummel, whether he's driving Megalodon or the Rage Roach truck. Corey Rummel is always finishing top of the independents. Obviously, no surprise this year. Is currently, as we're almost halfway through the season, Corey Rummel, driver of Megalodon, top of the independents. Guess who is right after Corey Rummel, though? We've kind of bashed on this driver, but you're not going to believe who is right after Corey Rummel on this tour, Spence.
Who's that?
Jim Kohler and Avenger.
You're the one that's that. Yeah, that's.
Ooh.
The thing is, like, Corey's been bringing up a lot of the points with racing and has been in the finals, I think, more than anybody else, but hasn't gotten a win. And Jim, I mean, Jim really hasn't done a whole heck of a lot, like, crazy stuff in freestyle, really, this year. And that's kind of the reason why I picked him, is I know Jim's not a racer, but he was very consistent last year in their stadium tour. And I don't know what's going on. It might be the track layout. Jim probably just doesn't have it figured out with the whole paperclip style. But I was really hoping that he was going to really pull some wow factors out, because it is a anniversary for Avenger. I believe 25 years of Avenger, but they didn't want to do anything because you have to take it away from Gravedigger. And so you'd think that wow. I'm trying to find a word here to use. Basically, you'd think Jim Kohler would come out swinging, and unfortunately, he's not really doing a whole heck of a lot, which hopefully that'll change after the Monster Jam season's over with, and he comes out and just wows everybody in the independent circuit, as he always does with Elliott and Monster Truck Throwdown. But as far as the Monster Jam season, unless something just completely clicks with Jim, I think he's going to stay there in points for the remainder of the season.
In 8th place on this tour, we have Kayla Blood. I think if the season ended today, I think that's not a bad spot for her. For her first full season on stadiums, it's not bad. I know she has the capability. She has the driving skill to
I
pick
don't
it.
know that her truck is 100%.
That's
either.
it. Yeah, I was just going to say. A lot of it
Something
boils
doesn't
down to
look
that.
right.
Something doesn't seem right with the truck. If the season ended today, and right after her would be Craig Champion, El Toro Local. Guys already providing enough wow moments for 1 year already in like the first 4 weeks of the tour. So I think Craig Champion's doing exceptionally well behind El Toro Local. Spence, I know you'd agree with that. Driver in 10th place on this tour, Paul Jensen Jurassic Attack, we've already talked about earlier. Having a lot of issues fighting that truck. It's a brand new piece, sway bar, and the truck's just kind of leaning. It's doing some weird stuff. They're trying to get that figured out. In his first year on the tour is Preston Perez, driving up the Axe monster truck. He drove Rod Ryan, I think, last week or the weekend before last. I got to say, even just watching him, I think he's doing a really great job with that truck. He's airing it out. He's trying new things. He's taking risks. Jim's just kind of giving him the green light to just go out, learn the truck, learn how to be on stadiums. I think he's doing a good job. And then in last place on this tour is Mike Christensen, driver of the Vendetta truck. Like I said, sometimes bad luck just takes a driver for a wild ride, and it hurts your points. However, if you're looking at points, you're going to wonder, like, how is this guy in last place right now? But if you go and you actually watch the shows, these shows don't stop. The action is just jam-packed, not, no pun intended being Monster Jam, but the action is nonstop at these shows. All these drivers are performing exceptionally well. Unfortunately, you're gonna have a winner, you're gonna have somebody in last place, and he's falling through the cracks right now with, I think, bad luck right now. Still learning the paperclip style track, and I think we've seen him do really well with it when they first came out with the track. So I think he'll get adapted to that, get a little bit better in racing, get a little bit better in the skills. He's a great driver for freestyle, very consistent. Knows how to air the truck out, keep his momentum up. For an independent truck, I think he definitely belongs on stadium tours. He'll get through the run of bad luck, though. He'll get some good luck. Like you said, somebody else said, one night, completely change everything, and then he'll get up in points. So look forward to that with him. We'll kind of run through arenas just real quick, maybe not break down driver's performance, but no surprise, Tristan England out there absolutely balling. Dave Olford, I think, is in third place on his tour right now. I would like to see the battle for first on that tour. Maybe get the competition, get a little tenser, maybe between Brandon and Tristan. Maybe Dave gets in there, throws the monkey wrench in every once in a while, and that's a fun tour to watch right there. I think that's the West Coast Arena Tour. Is there anybody out there in the arena circuit you've been paying attention to, Spence?
Arena, honestly, the only arena person I've really been paying attention to, and this kind of sucks because I love Tristan, but honestly, anytime something cool for Monster Jam Arena stuff, it's always Tristan. Let's be completely honest. Tristan's just dominating Monster Jam Arena shows, and, that's why I believe he's number one in his series. I'm not 100% sure. He should be. If not, he's damn close from taking down Vincent.
I think Brandon Vincent has a higher lead points-wise than
Keep
Tristan.
her going.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the other tour,
Yeah, there's a term for being screwed over by Gravedigger.
Well,
on the Central Tour, and this is a driver that we talked about a lot when when our show originally started last year, which we are coming up on the year anniversary of our show, which was Kristen Anderson. I remember Matt Cummings talking about how each season she got better, where she went from finishing from like 7th place to 6th place to 5th place. She's in first place on her tour right now. If the season ended today, she's going straight to the big show, which she most likely would anyways, but she's headed straight to the World Finals. A driver on the tour that's kind of taken me by surprise this year is Tony Oaks. Did not see him competing this consistently this year. Coop predicted that, though. Hats off to you, Coop. Way to go, bud. And I think kind of no surprise that John Zimmer Jr. and Zach Garner competing extremely well on the Central Tour. Those guys are doing really well. And then Cody Saucier, I obviously picked him to be on my team. I didn't see him competing with being in first place just because he went from driving a primetime truck to driving Dragon. It was weird. It's still weird to see him driving Dragon. But he's doing a great job, and he's keeping the fans happy. He's keeping Judge's own fans, interacting with them, getting them voting. So, hey, hats off to him. Armando Castro out there balling. Weston Anderson is in third place on his tour. I think that's great. First-year driver.
Coop, go ahead.
What? Oh, no, I've just been paying attention to Armando, really. Only because him and Tristan, mainly just on their Instagram, because that's the only, the two that really post a lot that I at least see. So that's how I've been keeping up on them tours, or them arenas. Armando's doing good. Didn't he just win overall?
Yeah,
not too long ago?
He swept the whole show, the last show in DC, I believe.
He's a good driver, and I feel like give it a couple more years, and he'll be in stadiums a lot more than what he has been already. And I could see him pulling it away and actually winning it. I could see him winning a World Finals at one point.
I'll throw this out there, y'all. We talked a lot about that West Coast Arena Tour. Talking about how Brandon Vincent and Tristan England battling for first place. Dave Olford's out there just kicking ass as well. So there's your top 3 and 4th place on that tour, where we have predicted at least halfway through the season that Bernard Light would be in 4th place on that tour. Driver Megalodon.
Wow.
Good for him.
Do a flip.
Do a lot better when you get rid of that crappy alien truck.
Yeah, maybe it was the alien truck that was.
Maybe.
It was the alien truck. Get rid of it.
Now that's
Get
Monster
rid of
Jam
it.
stuff.
See-
Okay, we want to talk about other trucks out there on independent tours. One of the more popular trucks on the independent arena tours this year would obviously be Brandon Budd behind the wheel of Bigfoot. or Buckfoot,
Bigfoot.
or Big Shot, whatever you want to call the truck, Onion Foot. Guy's doing obvious. I think he's going to run away with the tour. That's my prediction for the rest of the season. He's going to run away with the tour. But I mean, how do you
On the toughest tour.
on the toughest monster truck tour? Yes, and which is I think hands down the best arena shows as of right now.
Without a doubt. Because, I mean, they still got crush cars, still allow zoomies, and not to mention, they don't have really, I think they may have like a wheelie competition here and there, but they also incorporate other stuff with the shows that's not, well, I don't want to say tacky, but basically they don't have the quads or like the other stuff they used to have. Sometimes they have like RCs and whatnot, but honestly, overall, toughest monster truck tour, absolutely. If you haven't been to one, you need to. It is by far one of the most fun, some of the most fun you will ever have in a monster truck arena show. Go check them out. Other than that, I don't really know other tours that are going on as far as actually like some kind of a points
Maybe
ordeal.
you have a list of other shows that are going on?
I do. I have my
His
list.
list, and it's definitely time in the show to get this out of the way. So
Who's
Spence,
going to do the first intro?
we will. Let's keep doing what we're doing, Coop.
Okay.
We do the intro, you do the outro. You ready?
I suppose.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Spence.
It's time for everyone's favorite pronunciation sensation. Shows with Spence.
By the way, fun fact, that deer took a shit while he was looking at you in the eyes. Anyway, moving on. So, we actually got quite a big list of shows, so bear with me. It's a long one. So, we've got in Belmont Park, New York, you got Monster Jam. Fargo, North Dakota, also another Monster Jam show. Graham, Texas, Monster Truck Wars. Houston, Texas, another Monster Jam show. So, I'm assuming they're going to be there at NRG Stadium for quite a bit before they're finished up with Texas. Then we got in Jupiter, Florida, Monster Trucks with a Z Tour. Lake Charles, Louisiana, Monster Truck Nitro Tour.
Oh.
In Lexington, Kentucky, you got another Monster Truck Wars Tour. Madison, Wisconsin, Monsters of Destruction. Pensacola, Florida, you've got All-Star Monster Truck Tour. Tweety, I may need your help with this one, bud.
Here we go.
Oh.
All right, I say it's called Peoria, Illinois.
Peoria.
Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live.
That would be Peoria.
Is that okay? I was close. Peoria. I was close. You gotta give me that one.
Peoria.
Popular Bluff, Missouri. Two Extreme Racing. Good old Cretans. Providence, Rhode Island with Monster Jam. Tampa Bay, Florida. Monster Jam. I'm not sure if that is in Amalie or if it's at Raymond James. I'd imagine it'd be the arena
It's
show.
Raymond
Pirate
James.
Stadium.
It is. It is a stadium show.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In Topeka, Kansas, Monster Truck Nitro Tour. I don't know if this is supposed to be a GA because I don't know a state that the abbreviation is SA, but Wayville. I want to say this is Wayville, Georgia, Gilbert Racing, unless this is like a Australia tour. I'm not sure. And then finally, speak of the devil, in Youngstown, Ohio is the Monster Truck toughest Monster Truck. So definitely go check them out. And if you do go check them out, be sure to tag us and rep your throttle out gear. You know, we definitely need some more models. Like we can only support our website so much. Clearly this does not sell merchandise. So we need you to help us with that. So
Okay.
that is all the shows, and I will have to say this will be that is all the shows. But before you close me out, this will be the last shows with Spence for about a month, live on the Throttle Out show. Yep. So starting Monday, we will be going out to Arizona for testing and officially starting the NHRA Top Fuel Tour coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So I will try and, tune in every now and then as much as I can. But until then, I will not be back till probably somewhere around March.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting on you.
Coop, you're supposed to.
You're gonna
Oh,
you're gonna
Close
you
No one
you gotta
said
do the
that was it.
outro, man.
Well, you know,
Did you label it?
ladies and gentlemen, this right here has been the last show suspense of the past month, or will be. We'll see y'all later. It's past my bedtime, and thanks for watching the show suspense.
Beautiful. Now, kind of talking about what you're getting ready to get yourself into, Spence, with drag racing. I feel like maybe you kind of want to hammer on that for just a little bit. We're right at the hour mark, but we got some other stuff to talk about, some other stuff to discuss. What's going on with Team Coletta right now?
So the news has gotten out. And by the way, I am in no way, shape, or form a expert with anything that's going on with NHRA and Top Fuel. Some of these names I don't know from Adam. Like, I know Mintz, I know Anderson, I know England, I know Meninga. But some of these names that have came into Team Coletta, I really didn't understand how big of a deal these guys were until literally the internet today. Basically, the guys that are coming in and tuning our cars would be Alan Johnson, Brian Hewson, and Jason McCulloch. I think I'm pronouncing his last name wrong. Don't judge me. But basically, these guys, when it comes to tuning NHRA Top Fuel cars, like, they are top tier. Like, they are up at the very tip top. And I didn't realize how big of a deal this was until literally all these articles kind of started pouring out as to how badly Team Coletta wants this championship and wants to be seen as a good team. Because I went back and I wanted to, educate myself, because honestly, getting this job was something that, a extremely good friend of mine was just kind of like, hey man, come back out on the road, but, work on some drag cars, kind of get back into the swing of things. It's not Monster Trucks, but, me and him started drag racing back in high school, and the fact that I got this opportunity, I'm forever grateful for it. But I don't know anything about the sport or the industry or anything, and then realizing today and seeing all these articles and how we're now like the talk of the industry, how big of an opportunity this truly is for me to learn under these guys. I am extremely humble and forever grateful for this opportunity. But I am also extremely nervous for screwing up, because this is going to be a whole new ball game, a whole new can of worms that I'm getting myself into. But to be completely honest, I am extremely excited. I cannot wait to hear the car that we just finished putting together, fire up in Arizona for testing. I cannot wait to go out on the road with all my crew guys that I've now would call some really good friends, really close friends of mine, and just get to go out and just have a blast this year and hopefully win some races and hopefully possibly win a championship. But we'll see.
Hey, best of luck to y'all, man. You're going to be getting your feet wet. You are the rack specialist for Team Coletta, and you're working on Monster Trucks, now going and working for Mac Tools for the DHL car. You're going to have your hands full, man, but we wish you nothing but the best. And, hey, you're going to be getting into some warmer weather, damn it, getting away from the snow in Michigan.
Oh my gosh, you ain't kidding. We've been calling it Snowmageddon at the shop. We've been getting, for the past 2 days, it's been like feet and feet of snow. And I drive on I-94 from Jackson to Ypsilanti every day, and there is no white lines at all on the freeway. Basically, it's just like, hopefully it's the road, and go in the direction you're supposed to go in, and pray you get there in one piece. So, but yeah, it's been bad, but I'm ready to go down to Arizona. We're going to be going to Phoenix for testing. Then we're going to be going to Pomona, California to officially start off the tour for the Winter Nationals. And then we're actually coming back to Phoenix for the actual Phoenix race that they have there before we come all the way back up to Michigan. So there's going to be a lot of traveling, a lot of miles, but honestly, it's just going to be a blast, and I can't wait.
Now, we've been talking with Steve Jones, the lead guy over there at Monster Truck Attitude. Steve, you've been kind of quiet for a little bit, but do you keep up with drag racing at all, or are you strictly a Monster Truck kind of guy?
I used to watch it back in the day a little bit, probably the mid-2000s or so. I'd watch it some, but not today. I don't really keep up with a whole lot of it.
Yeah, it's going to be a new adventure for all of us. And something else we've been trying to keep up with this year, which is Supercross. I watched it a lot as a kid. Supercross is going to Glendale this weekend out there in the biggest stadium floor in all of America. Don't know if I've said that loud enough in the past on the show.
According to Tweety, not the internet.
According to me and everyone else who has ever been to a show in Glendale, it is the biggest stadium floor out there. Supercross will be out there after last week's throwdown out there in Anaheim. There was a big crash out there, and we hate to see. Well, I mean, we love to watch those big crashes. Just don't enjoy seeing people actually get hurt out there. So hope everybody stays safe out there and enjoys the weather out there in Glendale, Arizona. Y'all, we got anything to say before we close out? I don't know if anybody's paying attention to this or not, but I've been repping my old school. Where's it at? Old school Bigfoot hoodie over here. This is from like the 08, 09 era maybe of Bigfoot. And kept this one in pretty decent condition over the years. So very few people have on these hoodies. We got anything else to talk about before we close out?
Yeah, well, some people are talking about it in the comments. So, Levi, it's no longer called TRD. I believe they actually made an article about it. It's like some Toyota Gazoo Racing or something like that. But we are still affiliated with Toyota as partnership. But other than that, man, honestly, Steve, I just want to thank you so much for actually coming on our show and the amount of support that you give us by actually going out of your way and making banners for your arena or stadiums, whatever you want to call it, for your shows, including us as like as a sponsor. Like, dude, it means a ton to us. It really does. And honestly, we enjoy what you're doing, and just keep up the awesome work, man. And honestly, hopefully one day I'll be able to line up next to Tweety in a diecast.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, I appreciate you guys having me come on here, and I've loved y'all's show since day one, and I really stand behind it. You guys are really good people. You stand for everything that's true in the monster truck world, and that's getting harder and harder to find these days, especially in the mainstream line. So what you guys do, I appreciate what y'all do very, very much, and I'm just glad that we kind of found each other in a sense, and y'all's banner will always hang high on that track, and hopefully we can get some more up and some new ones up here soon.
Absolutely. Everybody that is a competitor, do not hit those damn banners. I've had to yell at somebody that was actually driving a Bigfoot a couple episodes ago. Like, I don't care if you roll your truck, just don't hit those signs.
Yeah, stay off the wall, man. Don't hit that throttle out banner.
You will be shut down. You will be shut down, y'all. Well, hey, thank you so much for watching tonight. Make sure you like this damn video. Coop gets a kick out of y'all liking the videos. Go to
the video.
Go to thethrottleoutshow.com. Snag you some merch, new hoodies and new beanies and hats on the way, y'all. We making them in house. We're pumped about that.
Crush that subscribe button.
Crush that subscribe button. That's right, man. And I had something else to say, but I forgot it or it went away on my phone. But y'all, remember, when in doubt, throttle out, stay warm, be safe. We'll see y'all on the next one.